Craft Club, Craft Club. We're all gonna craft at Kevin's Craft Club. You will craft, and I will craft, and we'll all craft because it's Craft Club. Okay, I'm not really committing to the opening and closing because reading this script has been a lot. Like, it's kind of exhausting me, and I have had many moments where I was like, wow, you really committed to reading this script. Like one of the worst scripts you've ever written, because it was like one of the first attempts at a Christmas movie that I ever wrote. I had only at this point written television episodes before, pilot episodes. I had never written a movie before. And so reading it is like, wow, I am a much different writer now. But the humor's still there. Like, I'm still proud that I did it. Every time you finish something, like, you should be proud of it. Like, if you finish anything, like, you need to make a lot of crap to make something good. Not everything is going to be good. And that's what I'm sharing with you. I feel very vulnerable right now, but let's get back into it because it is now Act 6 of 9. Actually, I've not even looked. I'm pretty sure that I segmented this right. There should be 9 acts because most TV movies, like I said, have 9 acts. I am reading a Christmas movie that I wrote many, many years ago. And in the last act, before the commercial break, we had Mrs. Betty and Ben, her husband. They went out to a club, and then they ran into Betty and Ben's daughter, Tracy, and her fiance, Mike, or future fiance, Mike. And there was something that I will say is in the dialogue that's hard for me to say and explain. I will explain it at the end of finishing the script. When I finish episode 9, or maybe even episode 8, we can discuss, but it was written very carefully. I'll just say that was written very carefully, that scene, because I did not want to expose the ending. So they just went to the club, and now this is Act 6. The commercial happened. Great things were sold. Commercialism. And then we are now at Act 6. Interior, Mrs. Betty's Pies. Storeroom, the next day. The next morning, Ricky and Tracy are standing behind the counter gossiping. At the Music Box pub? Really? How late? Betty enters through the front door. Ricky and Tracy straighten up. Oh, hello, Mrs. Betty. You're late. That's Tracy. Long night? Tracy and Ricky laugh. Not as long as Tracy's night, I'm sure. I watched my daughter drink 5 martinis last night. It's a wonder she's standing upright today. Ooh, slam. I will say alcohol is usually not okay in these movies. So if this had been sold and an executive would have given me the note that said, you have to cut all alcohol out. In past movies that I've written for other people, like for when I have been hired by companies, I have said, oh, she loves cupcakes. She ate so many cupcakes, she had a headache from all the cupcakes. You got to get creative with these G-rated movies. Okay. Betty looks pleased at her slam. She gets back to business. Are the crusts prepared? Ready for you to fill, Mrs. Betty. Thank you, Ricky. Betty heads into the kitchen. Tracy and Ricky laugh and go back to gossiping. Miss Leonard enters. Her and her pies, you know? Oh, hello, Miss Leonard. I've just come in to get a few pies since it's your day off tomorrow. I'll need 5. 1 for my bridge club, 1 for my book club, 1 for my Tai Chi club. Miss Leonard trails off as she browses the pie. Interior, law office, day. A small office. The room has only 3 desks. One of the desks is empty. Mike sits at one of the desks. The desk is messy and filled with files of papers. Okay, this is a heterosexual male scene. So, at the front of the room sits Mr. Richmond. Mr. Richmond, 52. Let's do that voice, just to clarify. Sternly shuffling through papers. Mike stands up and approaches Mr. Richmond. Mr. Richmond doesn't look up, but senses him approaching. What is it, boy? Oh, yes, Mr. Richmond. I had a hypothetical, if you don't mind. Oh, do you? Oh, you do you? I wondered if, if I was to stay in town, if there could be a job for me here on a regular basis. Mr. Richard looks up surprised. Here? Don't you find this boring, coming from the big city? I mean, I just think there are more important things than trying exciting cases. Like settling down and starting a family. Mr. Richmond looks momentarily emotional. I had to make that decision too, long ago. Mr. Richmond returns to his stern ways. Well then, I would say there would be a job here. No lawyer really lasts long in this town. All paperwork, no excitement. As long as you can handle that for the rest of your life. I think I can. Speaking of which, Mr. Richard points to Mike's desk, which is filled with files of paper. Oh, yes, sir. Mike walks back to his desk and gets to work. Mr. Richmond tries to hide his smile. Interior, Betty's house, living room, night. Betty sits... I just forgot that I was filming this. That's why I just laughed. Sometimes when I'm writing, I will say the dialogue out loud and then... But I just laughed at myself because it was so silly. Okay, interior, Betty's house, living room, night. Betty sits on the couch next to Ben. She has already opened another present and is holding a silver chain with a picture locket on the end. There's a picture in there. That's Ben. Betty opens the locket and sees a picture of young Ben and young Betty. Young Tracy, 12, sits in front of them. I remember that day. It wasn't the best day, but it was a good picture. Flashback. We go into a photography studio, day. A sparsely furnished photo studio. There are umbrella lights and a camera in front. A photographer is working on setting up the camera as young Betty, young Ben, and young Tracy wait for him to take the picture. They are in the same clothes and pose as the picture in the locket. They have an argument in hushed tones. I don't know why you're so distant all of a sudden. I'm not distant. You are. I just said that now is not a good time to travel. I just don't think a few days back in Chicago would be such a bad thing for all of us. Wouldn't you like to see the big city, Tracy? Crowds of people rushing in every direction, museums, theaters, buildings so high you can barely see the tops? Young Tracy said, I don't know. That's my young girl voice. Young Betty, who would take care of the pie shop if we left? We'd just close it down for a few days. The only person who would notice is Miss Leonard's. The store is doing well. Closing it down would mean a loss in revenue. I'm sorry, I can't. You can go if you want, Ben. No one's stopping you. Well, I'm not going to go without you. Well then, I guess that's settled. The photographer stands at the camera. Say cheese! The three of them turn to the camera and smile. End of flashback. We return to the previous scene in Betty's house living room. That was always the main reason we argued. You were so antsy staying in this small town. I just wish that we'd seen more of the world, don't you? No, I've always been perfectly content here. I guess it's still the main reason we argue. They laugh. Betty picks up another present. Are you going to open another present? You have to make them last. It's just so fun. Well then, may I make a suggestion? Ben looks at the remaining 5 gifts. He points to a small gift. That one. Betty picks it up and opens it. Inside is a gift card that says, Raindrop Spa, manicure pedicure package. Hey, spa trip. Perfect timing since the bakery is closed tomorrow. You can spend the day relaxing. Oh, Ben, I don't know. This seems a little unnecessary. Treating yourself is not unnecessary. You've earned a day of pampering. Betty smiles. Raindrop Spa, interior, day. You know I need a spa scene in every movie that I write. Because I love a spa. Okay. A relaxing lobby with pictures of raindrops and water hanging on the walls. Relaxing harp music plays. Behind a counter sits Lexi, 36, wearing all white. Betty enters the spa tentatively. Lexi sees her and stands up to greet her. Mrs. Betty, so good to see you. And you, Lexi. What can I do for you? Well, I have this. Betty hands Lexi the gift card. Lexi takes it and looks at it. Oh, of course, Mrs. Betty. I remember your husband bought you a mani-pedi package. But I'm going to upgrade you. Oh, I don't know if I need all that. Maybe just my nails is fine. Nails, massage, facial, the works. But by dinner time, you will be more relaxed than a baked potato. Carlton! From the back, Carlton, 22, comes running out, also all in white. What's a Carlton voice? Yeah. Yes, Lexi. There. Yes, Lexi. Please show Mrs. Betty to the changing area. She is being upgraded to the full extra deluxe package. Today she is royalty. First, a hot stone massage. You'll love it, Mrs. Betty. Carlton nods. This way, Mrs. Betty. Oh, I don't need all that. I'm not good at relaxing. He leads Mrs. Betty into the back room. Interior. Raindrop spa, massage room. Later. Betty is lying on the table, snoring loudly. Carlton is massaging her with hot stones. Carlton finishes. Mrs. Betty. Mrs. Betty. Carlton taps Betty awake. You're done with your massage. It's time for your mani-pedi. I'll be outside when you're ready. Carlton leaves the room. Betty looks around, relaxed and disoriented. Interior, raindrop spa, mani-pedi room. Later. A room for manicures and pedicures. Sometimes you just have to hand fist the information. Not so much to the creators, to the directors, but to the executives. They need to read the thing or they'll be like, it wasn't clear where I was. No, it was the room with the manicures and the pedicures, the mani-pedi room. Sometimes you got to do that. Okay. In the middle of the room are long tables with nail polish palettes. On the side, there are reclining chairs with foot tubs at the bottom. Each chair is divided by a curtain. Carlton leads Betty into the room and indicates for her to sit down on one of the reclining chairs. She sits and puts her feet in the tub. This is probably a silly question, but is this going to hurt? Carlton smiles. Not at all. Because I've never gotten a pedicure before. From beside her, the curtain is drawn to reveal Ricky pulling on the curtain, sitting in the chair next to her. He is mid-pedicure himself by a cheerful woman, Daisy, 42. See, he's gay, but he's not gay. We don't know he's gay. Straight men can get pedicures too. Okay? So, curtains drawn. Aha! I thought I heard your voice. Ricky, what are you doing here? It's my day off. I come here to pamper myself. Daisy gives the best post-baking mani-pedis. The real question is, what are you doing here? And have you really never had a pedicure? I'm afraid not. Never felt the need. Well, you are going to love it. Daisy finishes with Ricky and then moves over to Betty. She starts to fill the tub and massage her feet. I don't know. It's such a strange thing to do and oh my. Betty instantly falls asleep once her foot is being massaged. So, Mrs. Betty, did she just fall asleep? Carlton shrugs. Interior, raindrop spa, relaxation room. Later, see, this is one of those things. The executives would have read this and went, can the spa be one room? Because they don't want to pay for locations. So they'll be like, can it be one place? And I will just say, give me money and yes. Okay? So these are the changes executives would make. But right now, as this is a first draft of this chaotic movie, it doesn't matter. Okay. Interior, raindrop spa, relaxation room later. A dim room filled with reclining chairs and side tables. Relaxing harp music plays. People walk around in robes. Ricky sits in a chair reading a magazine and sipping tea. Betty enters the room. Ricky sees her and waves her over to the chair next to him. Mrs. Betty, how do your feet feel? They feel very soft. Betty sits next to Ricky. Carlton appears with a cup of tea for Betty. Oh, thank you, Carlton. I love that you're here pampering yourself. It is a new experience. What made you decide to come in here today? This is Ricky, by the way. If that's not clear. Because Carlton's like this. Ricky's like, hey. Okay. What made you come in here today? Actually, this is a gift from my husband. Oh. I wasn't sure I was going to like it, but I'm very much into it now. I might never leave. I've often wondered what it would be like to just live here in a spa. Heavenly, I'm sure. Betty settles into her chair. Wow, Mrs. Betty, what a change from just a few days ago. We couldn't drag you out of the house. Now you're going to bars, seeing movies, relaxing at spas. You're living the life. I'm trying. Well, I'm glad. It's time you started treating yourself right. And with that, they both relax into their chairs with an exhale. And Betty falls asleep almost instantly. Mrs. Betty, did you fall asleep again? End of Act 6. Act 6 of 9. What are we thinking? What are we feeling? Are we drawn into the story? Are we interested in these gifts? Do we care for these characters? Who have we cast in these characters? Tell me in the comments, because we have 3 more episodes left of this script. So tune in to the next episode of Craft Club. This is a winter edition of Craft Club. And you will craft and then I will craft too. This is a wintry day, winter edition of Craft Club.